It was the late former South African President Nelson Mandela who said education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. Here in Jamaica, policymakers have long embraced that philosophy and continue to work to ensure our education system is developed to first world standards. In this episode of Jamaica Magazine, we share some major developments that took place in education in 2013. Welcome to the program. I'm Adrian Atkinson. Also today, giving back to the community. The JIS shared with one St. Catherine neighborhood, and we have the highlights. Those stories and more are all lined up, so stay with us.
I needed help to expand my business, but the banks only wanted to be up in my business. The high interest rates were killing my business. They're never really business with my business.
At the Exim Bank, we have your business needs covered. Our application process is easy, and we provide loans at competitive rates for the productive sector. From renewable energy projects and working capital to plant upgrades or expansion and export financing. Come in and talk to us today. The Exim Bank. On the road to success, you are going to want us in your business.
Good day, I'm Andrea Chisholm and this is your GIS News for Wednesday, January 15. Construction of the 360 megawatt plant to supply additional power to the national grid is scheduled to begin early this year. This was disclosed in a release from the Office of the Prime Minister following Tuesday's conclusion of the special two-day cabinet meeting. Just last week, Energy Minister Philip Paulwell revealed that the 360 megawatt project was on target for completion in 2016, bringing consumers a 30% reduction in the price of electricity. In the meantime, with much emphasis being placed on investment to foster economic growth, Cabinet has re-emphasized the need to implement measures to speed up business in Jamaica. This is to be a priority for the Public Sector Transformation Unit. At the special Cabinet meeting, Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller also emphasized the need for the Ministries of Land and Housing to speed up the transfer of titles to landowners while settling other land-related issues. The criminal justice system also received Cabinet's attention. Emphasis was placed on the strengthening of investigative resources, greater mobility for the security forces, and strengthening the court system so that cases can be settled quickly. Cabinet also agreed that road repairs and infrastructure development are essential to the growth agenda and must receive priority treatment in the 2014-2015 budget. The special meeting of the Cabinet was aimed at finalizing capital spending and priorities for the upcoming financial year. The sessions reaffirmed government's four strategic priorities for fiscal year 2014-2015, namely the maintenance of fiscal stability, preservation of national security and justice, infrastructural and human resource development, and social protection programs. Prime Minister Portia Simpson-Miller is encouraging regional tourism interests to follow Jamaica's lead by deepening cooperation among sectors to improve the Caribbean tourism product. According to Mrs. Simpson-Miller, regional bodies can learn and gain greater returns from their investments if they duplicate the island's tourism linkages hub.
Forging firmer linkages between our productive sectors and the region's tourism sector can only be of benefit to all of us. Jamaica would be willing and active participant in such initiative.
The Prime Minister was speaking Sunday at the Caribbean Marketplace in Montego Bay. She used the opportunity to thank tourism interest groups, including workers and investors, for helping Jamaica achieve a new high in 2013. Jamaica ending the year with a history-making record of over 2 million stopover visitors. Operation Resilience, an anti-crime initiative by the Police High Command, is reaping positive results. National Security Minister Peter Bunting reveals that since October, Operation Resilience has carried out 350 anti-gang operations and made close to 400 arrests.
And recovered over 200 firearms since October. This is the highest rate of firearm recovery, even exceeding during the May 2010 operations.
Minister Bunting was addressing a recent service at the Transformed Life Church where he renewed his call for the church community to play a more active role in crime fighting. Through the Unite for Change initiative launched in December 2013, all law-abiding citizens are urged to play their role in reducing crime. Residents in and around the community of Tollgate Clarendon now have access to a newly refurbished community and sports complex. The $22 million project, which forms part of the Sugar Transformation Program, was officially opened last week. Agriculture Minister Roger Clark said the opening of the complex was part of plans to improve infrastructure in sugar-dependent communities.
We have committed so far over $500 million to improve basic schools, clinics, sporting facilities, rural roads, and water supply systems in sugar-dependent communities. This expenditure has already begun to impact some 9,000 persons.
In the meantime, a $17.9 million contract has been signed to rehabilitate the Water Wells Sports Complex in Racecourse, Clarendon. With funding from the European Union, the project is being executed by the Sports Development Foundation. And finally, as the country observes Earthquake Awareness Week, greater emphasis is being placed on ensuring buildings can stand up to the effects of earthquakes and other natural disasters. Local Government Minister Noel Arscott says it is an important element in developing Jamaica's strategies for disaster resilience. He adds that the revised building code, which is to come on stream by March, is directly in support of this.
This will make it mandatory for the construction industry to use the building code in all construction activities. We need to continue the partnership with the training institutions to provide the required number of building inspectors.
Minister Arscott was speaking at a press briefing to launch the week's activities on Monday. It is being observed from January 12 to 18 under the theme Earthquake Safety, Know Your Vulnerability to Improve Your Capacity. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Andrea Chisholm. Thank you for watching.
In 2013, the government focused on finding ways to reduce the cost of electricity for Jamaicans, even as it brought more rural communities into the light and into the information age, and pursued prime projects for growth.
We have tremendous hope for the realization of a fully commercialized project.
Looking back at the Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy and Mining. Watch the review Thursday, January 16 on Jamaica Magazine.
Curriculum development, improvements to infrastructure and a focus on literacy and numeracy. Those were some key steps taken to improve the education system last year. More on those and other initiatives next.
Twenty 2013 was the year of change and accountability for the Ministry of Education.
We must take charge of the change in our sphere and hold ourselves accountable. This is the call to action.
In 2013, the Education Ministry was on a mission to create an environment conducive to learning for all children. The Cedar Grove High School in Gregory Park, St. Catherine was opened. Bel Air High in Manchester became a public grant-aided school in September with 8 classrooms added, while Garvey Maceo in St. Anne completed the addition of a classroom block. Key partnerships also led to further expansion of some schools. The Rock House Foundation contributed to the rebuilding of the Moreland Hill Primary and Infant School in Westmoreland. Thanks to the Japanese Embassy, Glengough High in St. Catherine received a block of rooms valued at $11 million. And a major partnership with Food for the Poor yielded 20 basic schools under the Jamaica 50 for 50 Basic Schools program.
The kind of partnership which the government of Jamaica needs so urgently and consistently with people of goodwill.
Expansion works also allowed the Education Ministry to remove 5 secondary schools from the shift system in 2013. Meanwhile, pit latrines in 30 schools were replaced with flush toilets at a cost of $200 million. And 68 basic schools were incorporated into the infant departments of existing primary schools with adequate space.
No more can it be the experience of the education system that some 30% of all students moving from early childhood into primary are not ready, do not have the required aptitudes for primary education.
These infrastructure developments supported government's overarching strategic priority for human capital development by providing students and educators with the facilities to access quality education. A reform of the curricula in the nation's schools resulted in some notable changes in 2013. There was the revision of the National Standard Curricula for grades 1 to 9 with the contents of all subjects revised. Changes were also made to the Health and Family Life Education curriculum for grades 7 to 9.
Let it be clear, Mr. Speaker, we will not be grooming children towards same-sex unions, and we will not be distributing condoms in schools. Restraint must be taught by example and precept. Sex education, yes. Condoms, no.
The ministry was determined to improve literacy and numeracy rates in 2013. With funding from the United States Agency for International Development, more than 100 literacy specialists and reading coaches were deployed in primary and secondary schools.
These will be deployed to assist teachers who are laboring in difficult schools, difficult areas, during this school term.
An intensified mathematics program was also launched.
The central objectives of the intensified mathematics program are to ensure that persons engaging our children in the teaching and learning of mathematics have a sound knowledge of the content and the most effective methods to engage students in a manner which is focused on developing, first, conceptual understanding, second, computational fluency, and problem-solving skills.
Improvements were seen. The Grade 4 literacy test results showed 76% mastery among students, 9 points away from the target of 85% mastery by 2015. There was also overall improved performance in about 25 subjects in CXC-CSEX exams. English language improved by 12%, with mathematics showing a 5% improvement in passes.
Good nutrition is very important for our students to learn.
And so work started in 2013 to develop a national school feeding policy with funding from the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB. The IDB also supported a pilot program to develop nutritious menus using local produce.
We aim to offer the little children a breakfast snack as well as lunch because some 30% of them come to school hungry every day. The plan is to use local fruits and produce in increasing proportions.
In the latter part of 2013, the Education Ministry launched a national policy on the reintegration of school-age mothers into the formal school system.
That will be part of the guidelines and the mandate given to all board chairmen and board members and principals and teachers of schools. This is not optional anymore. Yes, this is government policy.
The National Parenting Support Commission was also launched and 30 parenting places established across the island. And the ministry heightened its focus on other vulnerable groups, spending $11 billion on special education. Critical emphasis was placed on human resource development last calendar year. The Technical Vocational Education and Training TVET policy was deployed. Teachers received training through the Heart Trust NTA and the National College of Education Leadership. And the Aspiring Principals program was launched in November. To address the shortage of teaching posts, the ministry hosted a job fair through which many gained employment opportunities in the private sector. An online teachers' bank was also created.
This is not a once-off occasion. We want to set up a special division that looks at the availability in the teaching profession, knows who you are, what your skills are, and how we can be in touch with you and help to place you, if not today, whenever an opportunity arises.
Meanwhile, 160 teachers were engaged under the Jamaica Emergency Employment Program, JEEP. In support of the agenda for fiscal prudence, study leave policies for teachers were reformed in order to cut costs while ensuring efficiency in the education sector. And the ministry initiated a program for the redeployment of teachers to schools with staffing needs.
So far, 100 and more have agreed to be relocated, and this covers all regions and schools. This is a good, and all types. This is a good start, and we trust that many more will understand that the idea of relocation is not punitive, but rather it is to correct a system that is unsustainable.
The Ministry of Education was on a clear mission throughout 2013, one designed to move the country closer to its 2030 vision of Jamaica as the place for world-class education and training.
If we all rope in, we can be optimistic about the present and future of education.
Let's celebrate Jamaica to the world. Fastest man in the world. First Jamaican woman to win gold in Olympic 100-meter sprint. An upcoming global superstar. Mouth-watering meals. And a vibrant set of people. We are Jamaicans. Let's get together and bring back the love.
The entertainment calendar for the month of February is already packed, especially with those events associated with Reggae Month. And the Ministry of Tourism has jumped in on the action, seeking to push an interesting concept. Let's find out more.
Bordered by the world's 7th largest natural harbor, home to cultural landmarks, it's the heartbeat of the country. And now, with the introduction of Reggae Month, it's Kingston for February, promising to make the city capital a hotspot for local and foreign entertainment seekers.
From jungle to Rima, from Tivoli to Matthews Lane.
For years, there's been talk about strengthening the marketing might behind Kingston's tourism presence, promoting its built-in attractions, attracting more investments for its accommodations portfolio, and accommodating more tourists within the city limits. In 2014, all throughout the second calendar month, years of planning and smaller projects are evolving into the major initiative Build Reggae Month. It's Kingston for February. The initiative capitalizes on February's established entertainment agenda that comes with the celebrations for both Black history and reggae within the month.
Most of the Reggae Month activities were already funded by the government, by the ministry. And so what we're doing now is to further fund some other events, but also, as I said, organize them so that we can get greater value and express to the persons who are seeking to come to Jamaica. For one event with plane fare and hotel room, etc. might not be sufficient, but coming for a month of events would have disseminated the plane fare and other events over a broader scale of activities.
The initiative will be a launching pad for an even bigger acknowledgement for the capital.
We want Kingston to be the cultural super state as a city, and it will contribute to our application for creative city status under UNESCO, which is in March 31st being the deadline.
Already there is much expectation.
But Chronix just hides up, so Kabaka there, you rust around the island now. Hey, Janina shine and glow.
With the ministry's endorsement, a slew of events have been unveiled, structured to titillate all. From music festivals to lectures, Kingston will come alive for the 28 days. And Kingston's regular partner, St. Andrew, will not be left out of the fun.
Does celebrate reggae music both from the entertainment side but also from the education side. The University of West Indies is on board, and also you'll also have the Reggae University in the park to give information as to what reggae and where it's coming from and what it represents.
It's hard to say which of these events will be the top draw. Reggae Wednesdays, organized by the Jamaica Reggae Industry Association, JERIA, is an annual showstopper. Every year, hundreds of patrons turn out weekly for the free event to be entertained by their favorite artists. Then there's Arts in the Park. Started last year by the ministry in collaboration with international recording artist Shaggy, the second staging is scheduled to be bigger and better.
The intent of Arts in the Park was to expose our talent to the intermediaries, to the Universals, to the Sonys, to the BTs, which we carried in last year. And so therefore this year Arts in the Park will incorporate 3 aspects of our entertainment industry. We'll be carrying down galleries to look at some of our fine arts, and we'll be carrying down also some alternative festivals to look at our spoken word, as well as carrying down some booking agents to look at some of our singers. We find that it is easier to get success from the booking side than from the signing to contract side. So we're carrying down booking agents, 13 booking agents from out of Europe.
And for the first time in more than 50 years, a poet laureate will be named. Nominations for the 2014-2017 Poet Laureate closed last December, and the recipient of the honorary award will be announced on February 16. Past recipients of the prestigious honor have been Tom Redcom and J.E. Claire McFarlane, but no doubt the other events are gearing up to be just as interesting and entertaining.
And I said, do you remember the days of slavery?
I feel the sun on my skin, know it's gonna be one of those days to put your mind at ease. Got the radio playing as I feel the breeze. Yo, beat, pass me out there, please. I'll be a living song, knowing all of us. We're gonna dance all night till the sun come up.
So if you're away or at home, the ministry is inviting you to come to Kingston. There is an event for everyone, with some having no cover charge. Don't stay at home. Take along your friends and explore Reggae Month. It's Kingston for February. For more information on the ministry's initiative, you may call 920-4926-30 or click on their website mot.gov.jm.
In my bones and sing, thinking about the joy you bring. You think no, don't take this for joke. You're the Hennessy to my cup.
The Jamaica Information Service continues to strive to be an effective agent of change in Jamaica. In keeping with that goal, the agency adopted the Mount Olivet Boys Home in Manchester a few years ago and has since participated in several community events across the country. A few months ago, the JIS partnered with a church community in St. Catherine to continue that mission. Here's how it went.
Giveaways, free medical checkups, and insightful presentations. The Spanish Town-based Glad Tidings Open Bible Church took its ministry out of the pews and into the community recently. It staged a community outreach health fair on Brunswick Avenue, bringing services and information to the people, partnering with the Jamaica Information Service to maximize the impact.
We thought that it would be good to culminate our 2 weeks of evangelistic meeting with a kind of a practical approach to the preaching of the gospel. That is sharing food, doing something in health, giving information to the community people.
As an agent of change, it is our mandate to ensure that people all across Jamaica are aware of what is happening in the country, and not only that, but to serve the people where they are. So as part of our corporate responsibility, we go out in the communities and we ensure that we bring the information to the people so that they are empowered, because that is part of our role as the information arm of the government.
Community members came out in droves to take advantage of the numerous services that were provided: blood pressure checks, eye screening, immunization, diabetes tests, and more.
Well, today I did the sugar, the blood, and the urine test.
I got my TRN card as well to get my health card.
This is like a one stop to get like everything done. Yeah, because who to tell? You come here, your blood sugar, urine, vaccine, all those one place.
With the physical taken care of, it was time to cater to the mind. A major exhibitor in the fair was the Information and Media Services Hub of the nation, the JIS. The agency was well represented through its television and special projects departments. Equipped with pamphlets, brochures and flyers on matters ranging from a wide cross-section of public interest matters, the team happily shared with eager patrons.
I was so surprised. I didn't know they offer so many different information. I learned about, like, if you need things to print, you can get it done there. And like advertisement, I did not know that I could get it done there.
Information is critical to development, both personal development and national development. And we believe that when communities are moving in that direction to empower their members, it is part of our responsibility to partner with them. And that is part of how we are going to help Jamaica to achieve Vision 2030, which is helping to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families and do business.
And the children got a privileged glimpse into the world of television production, some even learning the more intricate details of the process.
My name is Paul Martin and I'm reporting for JIS News.
As the active voice of Jamaica, the JIS continues to be an important player in communities across the country. And the people in Spanish Town appreciated the effort. Over 10 public and private entities participated in the day's activities, with almost 400 community members receiving well-needed health care.
Show how much you know about the Global Logistics Hub to be established in Jamaica and get the opportunity to win some cool prizes, including cash and a trip to Panama, by entering the Global Logistics Hub essay competition. If you are between 15 and 35 years, write an essay in 2,000 words or less on the theme Jamaica's Global Logistics Hub, the big opportunity for Jamaica and the world. Essays should be typed using either Arial or Times New Roman font, double-spaced, and include the participant's name, address, telephone number, and email address. Drop them off at the offices of the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, 4 St. Lucia Avenue, Kingston 5, by 2 p.m. on January 17, 2014, or send via email to logisticsessay@miic.gov.jm. Call 754-2164 or 754-4719 to find out more.
Children need to grow up to be the best they can be, and it's up to their parents and guardians to make that possible. As they grow, they need to feel safe and happy. Children depend on adults for care and protection, for support and guidance. They're not able to properly care for themselves intellectually, physically, and emotionally. So the family, church, school, and community members must play a supporting role. Let's nurture and protect our children so they can become prosperous adults as we seek to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Original.
Here's where we take our leave, but only for today. We'll roll out another in the series same time tomorrow. Share your thoughts via email, jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm, or send a tweet at JIS News. If you missed this or other programs, visit our YouTube channel to catch up. And don't forget that our newly revamped website is chock full of useful information. On behalf of the JIS family, have yourselves a wonderful evening.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.